Hello, it's day 104, and I want to talk about hunger. Weirdly enough, I haven't officially talked about hunger. I've talked about it a lot in other videos, but I haven't actually approached it specifically, so that's what I want to do today. I'm on my first day of vacation, and since I haven't had a chance to go to the library yet, I thought I would revisit the good old Green Book and just give it a really true and thorough read through. I got about a third of the way through it last time before I stopped, and this time I want to actually go through it completely because while it is frustrating for me to read about intuitive eating because it's something that hasn't worked for me in the past, I do like the concept of it. As somebody who really dislikes calorie counters, I really wish this worked for me. Like, I'm sure there are millions of people out there who feel the exact same way. This book is obsessed with hunger in a way that the Dr. Beck Diet Solution book was not. This book is also weirdly obsessed with hunger as like a virtue. That feeling hunger and being hungry is not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing because it means that your body is healing. I'm paraphrasing a ton, by the way, but that's essentially what it comes down to in my opinion. However, I have a strange relationship with hunger. Weirdly, I both love it and I hate it. I hate feeling hunger because it's uncomfortable, but I love feeling hunger because it means I can eat without guilt. And the intuitive eating people are really big on eating without guilt no matter what. One very interesting thing that came up in this book is that you ask yourself if you're hungry, but then you can still eat even if you're not hungry. There are diets floating around out there in the world that work on hunger, the basis of hunger. If you feel hungry, then you eat. And then you have to monitor your fullness level throughout your eating, and when you're full, you stop. Intuitive eating touches on this, and I think that there are a lot of diets out there that have bastardized that in a way, because while intuitive eating tells you to eat when you're hungry and respect your fullness, the diets out there that tell you to do that really get very obsessive about it. Like, you can only eat when you're hungry and you must stop when you're full. The intuitive eating people tell you that that's not always the case. Sometimes you want to eat for other reasons, and these people will tell you that that's okay while you're in your healing process. But as someone who obsesses over hunger and food, I will say that there really is no comfortable way to monitor yourself that closely all day long. Dr. Beck brought this up some in her book as well, where she says that there are days where you just have to tell yourself that you have no choice. Like, you're very hungry, you're very uncomfortable, but she points out that hunger ebbs and flows throughout the day. You get really, really hungry and then it kind of levels off. Then you get really, really hungry and it kind of levels off. That you don't just constantly have that spike of hunger. That there are times where you don't eat, but your hunger still tapers off. Like when you stop thinking about it, for example. And I've made no secret that I'm a very uncomfortable person just in general. I really struggle to make these videos, for example, or to exist in society, to speak to people, to make eye contact throughout the day is a real challenge for me. So to put on top of that, monitoring my eating, that is something, like, that's a diet I don't feel like I really want to approach, because it's adding another level of insecurity and body monitoring that I just don't think I have room for another layer of uncomfortableness in a day. Because out in the world, I'm constantly monitoring, what do I look like, what do I sound like, how are people reacting to me. I'm constantly checking and making sure that I'm doing okay. And if I can't do that, or if I'm in a very chaotic situation, a lot of times I'll just try to avoid that entirely. So if you want to add on top of that a whole nother layer of, and also monitor when you're hungry, it's just not going to work. And that's why I think intuitive eating is not a good solution for me, because I am such an uncomfortable person, I eat when I'm uncomfortable. And I think that that's going to get muddied in a way that these people don't really intend for it to get muddied. I don't think this book This book really touts that it's for an unhealthy dieter. It's for people who have made diets their whole, like, sole health concern for so long. These people really want you to undo the diet mentality, to undo all the harm that you've done to yourself psychologically and physically by dieting your whole life. Don't be a secret dieter. Don't be an overt dieter. Don't buy into diet culture anymore. That's what these people will say. However, on the flip side of that, I feel like while most diets don't work, and I'm proof of that for damn sure, I also know that it's mostly me. These people say it's not your fault, and to some extent that's true, but I do know that it is actually my damn fault. I eat too much during the day, and I have a very weird trigger mechanism that makes me eat. It's something that I haven't figured out how to break yet. Oh, people upstairs, what are they doing? What are they doing? It sounds like elephants going by. I'm not finished with this book yet, but I think this is going to be my vacation read, at least for the first couple days. It's a very easy read if you want to pick it up. Like I said, this one was a gift, so look at the ladies on the front. They're so smart. But yes. So I'll report back to you if there's any other like really interesting insights that I come across in this book as I finish it up. But other than that, I will see you tomorrow.